Hello everybody, and welcome again to another classy outing as we look at more of my Criterion collection, this time with a theme. I actually can't believe that I haven't ever talked about any of my Criterion collection movies that hail from the 1980s, but we're gonna be looking at this fine group today. We include everything from The Elephant Man to A Room with a View, and I know that only covers half a decade, but whatever. I would also, before we get into the video proper, like to thank my almost 2,100 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in weekly or whenever I have time to make a video. And as a special treat, I just want to say if we can reach 2,100 subscribers by the end of the week, I will be making a video about Lucille Ball's only time on Broadway in a musical called Wildcat. So if we can reach that goal of 2,100 by the end of the week, the 2,100 subscriber special will be about Lucille Ball's Wildcat. Alright, enough goofing around, let's get into this video, what you came here for. As always, we will be going in chronological order. The first one we have is The Elephant Man by David Lynch. And then here is the back. Now when you open it up here, take the book out. The book is a booklet like we've seen before. It's not rare, but it's definitely not one of their more favorite ways to do it. Here is Merrick on one side. And then there is the full picture. It's him on display towards the beginning of the movie. And then inside it has the essay as well as stills from the movie spread throughout. And then inside are the discs. One is clouds or that smoke, and then the bottom, I don't know if my camera's picking up on this, is stars. And in the background is just like a fuzzy black thing. And that is from the dream sequences at the beginning and the end of the movie that the producers almost made David Lynch cut because it was too surreal. My favorite supplement on this particular edition are probably the archival interviews with David Lynch himself, John Hurt, and Mel Brooks. Just because you wouldn't think that somebody like Mel Brooks would be behind a very serious production like this. He was known for his comedies. And so like putting him into something like this was just something that the people at the time did not know him for. In fact, he even asked for his name to be left off the credits so people didn't think that it was a comedy by mistake. Next up, we have The French Lieutenant's Woman. Then here is the back. Now this one was released in 1981. And this one has a fold-out one. Again, the one that we're very used to at this point. And this one forms a poster on one side. And I don't know if you can see it, but like it's made up of a bunch of typewritten words of the script itself, or of the script within the movie of the script. And then on the other side, folded out, is the essay. And then the discs here are probably some of my favorite designs. It's the sea that we know and love, but then also it has like designs in the sea, and the rest of like the disc is white. And then the background is a forest scene from the movie. Again, besides the essay, because those are always charming, it's interviews with Jeremy Irons, Meryl Streep, and John Bloom, as well as the composer Carl Davis. It's just interesting to hear actors' insight into a property that they made so long ago, but still remember so fondly, and how it was like pivotal to their career. Next, we have 1982's Tootsie. This was probably the second or third Criterion I picked up all those years ago, and probably 2017 or so. Then here is the back. Open it up, and it's a fold one. Again, like the French Lieutenant's Woman. It's all spread out like this. And then on the other side, we have Dustin Hoffman. all jumpy and jumping around. Now this one is actually kind of boring in terms of design, I will admit. The background is white, and the discs are just the red sea as well as red sequins, which match Dorothy's dress. Now, my favorite supplement on the Tootsie Criterion release is deleted scenes and trailers. A lot of the deleted scenes are kind of inconsequential when it comes to the story, because I think the way that the story is told, it has all the scenes and beats that are needed to fulfill story arcs, and nothing feels all that aimless. But some of the scenes in there are just interesting in checking out in terms of what was deemed worthy of filming, but not worthy to be seen by a greater audience. Alright, now we get to a 1985 trio. The first of which is The Breakfast Club. And then here's the back. Alright. And this one has a booklet in it as well. It's written on some lined paper that's tinted pink. And then it is just covered in 80s stuff as you go all the way through. There are a bunch of like behind the scenes production pictures, little scribbles there on each of the pages. And then of course the essay as well as production Polaroids spread throughout. And then we have the discs and the inside. The background is a portrait of all of the main stars of the movie, and the discs are a locker as well as I believe a scribbled on table. And now my favorite part of this release, of the supplements, is all the deleted scenes and extended scenes that were not seen outside of like a 2.5 hour work print. And a lot of them add dimension to the story that at some points is extraneous, or at other points is extremely dark, given the nature of the story. A lot of time, like there's one example of like Carl the janitor predicting where everybody would be in like 10 years, and it's depressing. But for any like film buff who wants to see what a longer version of The Breakfast Club would be, or more interactions between these characters, I highly recommend picking this up for the deleted scenes alone. Next we have My Beautiful Laundrette, which was one of the 2 movies from 1985 that launched Daniel Day-Lewis into stardom. And then here is the back. Mine got punctured in store. Now this is a 1-disc release, and this one folds out. Here is the one side, and the essay is on the other. And then I'm gonna take the disc out for this one. And the background art is them cleaning up the laundrette. And then the disc is the 2 stars of the movie. Now this one doesn't have very many supplements either, but my favorite is probably the essay inside the booklet. Again, for giving that like extra historical context and insight. And lastly, for our 80s edition of Criterion look at, is 1985's A Room with a View, directed by James Ivory. And then here is the back. Now, at the time, people were amazed how Daniel Day-Lewis could play like a degenerate in this movie and then go to playing a sophisticate in this movie, and they called it unheard of range. Alright, on the inside here is the pamphlet. It folds out. We have some stills from the movie, and then on the back is the essay. And then here are some of the beautiful shots that are seen in the movie while they are in Italy. I sound like a broken record, but it's probably going to be the new interviews with James Ivory, the costume designer John Bright, who goes into detail about like the historical accuracy and like what you see underneath despite not seeing it on camera necessarily, as well as Helena Bonham Carter and Julian Sands. And again, it's just interesting to hear these actors talking about a movie so fondly now that they made 30 years ago, and just how lovingly they still think of it. Alrighty, that is going to do it for this version of my Criterion series. If you liked it, go ahead and hit like and hit the subscription bell. It'd be really cool to see you again. And again, don't forget to tell your friends, whoever, any theater buffs out there, that when we reach 2100, I will be doing a video about Lucille Ball's Wildcat, her one and only time on Broadway. All right, this is Dustin signing off, but only for now.